provides access to loans, access to equity financing, and grants all in one place, making it a one-stop funding solution.
Yes, of course, finance is one of the biggest challenges that small businesses face. So our platform, Swoop, creates a one-stop shop for small business owners and their advisors to find the right loan products, grants, and equity investors to help their businesses grow and scale and be successful. CSBFL, CSBFA, everybody seems to call it something different. That's a government guaranteed loan that goes out through the banks, and there's been a few modifications to it over the years, but broadly speaking, companies can access up to 600k in a loan that's backstopped by the government.
Listeners, funding is the backbone of small business growth. Whether it's loans, equity financing, or government grants, having the right financial support can make all the difference. With AI-driven solutions like Swoop, securing funding has never been easier. Hi everyone, this is Maheen and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we bring together industry experts to share insights that help small business owners navigate challenges and embrace new opportunities. Because securing the right funding is a crucial challenge for small businesses, and access to the right financial support can be a game changer. So today we are joined by Daire Burke, the head of Swoop North America. Swoop is a comprehensive platform that provides small businesses with access to loans, equity financing, and grants through innovative AI-powered matching technology. And Daire has been instrumental in launching and expanding Swoop funding in North America. With a background in financial advisory at Deloitte and cross-country consulting, as well as serving as financial director at Swoop, Daire brings a wealth of experience in finance and business growth. So today, we'll explore how Swoop is making it easier for SMEs to secure funding, the power of AI-driven financial matchmaking, and how small businesses can better leverage government programs like the Canada Small Business Financing Program. Without further ado, let's dive in. Daire, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for inviting me on, Maheen. I appreciate it.
Very, very pleased to have you with us. Now, Daire, let's kind of begin our discussion with Swoop's comprehensive funding platform, because securing funding is one of the biggest challenges, I also highlighted in my intro, for small businesses. And Swoop provides access to loans, access to equity financing, and grants all in one place, making it a one-stop funding solution. Can you give us more insights about how does Swoop's comprehensive approach help small businesses navigate the complexities of funding more effectively than traditional methods?
Yes, of course. As you've touched on, access to finance and access to the right type of finance is one of the biggest challenges that small businesses face. It's consistently top 3 pain points that small business owners cite when it comes to running their business. So our platform, Swoop, creates a one-stop shop for small business owners and their advisors to find the right loan products, grants, and equity investors to help their businesses grow and scale and be successful. And small business owners and small businesses, they're not just smaller versions of big businesses. So the products that they need to grow and to launch are different to larger enterprises. So their needs aren't always met by traditional banks and lenders. And that's where we come in to provide optionality and choice.
That's amazing. That's quite a game changer for small businesses, because having all funding options in one place, it can make the process so much more efficient for a lot of business owners out there. Now, if you were to build onto this a bit more, Daire, could you share a success story of an SME that has benefited significantly from using Swoop's platform?
Yeah, of course. So thankfully, we've built up a lot of those over the years, and over the past 3 years in Canada, we've built up a user base of over 20,000 businesses. And at the core of what we do, we try to use businesses' data to find them the best products. Time is another resource that business owners don't have in abundance. And financial literacy can be limited as well. So we try to, as quickly as possible, find products that business owners are eligible for. I think of a recent example of a Toronto-based restaurant that opened with a bank loan that we secured for that business owner. And subsequent to that, we enabled the business owner to access a hiring grant to offset some of the costs involved in hiring staff. and we also help them with a banking solution to get a reduced set of fees that they were paying for banking.
Mhm.
So that was 3 products in one fell swoop, so to speak, that they accessed through the platform, and that was a great success story. And we helped that business owner get off the ground and run their business.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And you're right. I mean, having access to funding is one thing, but finding the right funding quickly is another. And that's where AI powered technology comes in. Listeners, funding is the backbone of small business growth. Whether it's loans, equity financing, or government grants, having the right financial support can make all the difference. With AI driven solutions like Swoop, securing funding has never been easier. So please stay informed, explore your options, and take your business to new heights. Now, Daira, let's explore how Swoop's matchmaking or matching technology is revolutionizing the funding process because AI is transforming the way businesses operate, including how they secure funding. And Swoop leverages AI powered matching to connect businesses with the most suitable funding options quickly and efficiently. How does this Swoop's AI driven technology streamlining the funding search process, and what makes it so unique compared to traditional financial advisory services?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of barriers that sometimes act as obstacles for business owners when it comes to accessing capital. I mentioned them being time poor. That's one. Financial literacy is another. Data is a huge one. So in order to present a application for an underwriter, taking the example of a loan, to understand, that has to be put together in a certain format.
Hmm.
Financials, projections, financial model. So these are again are obstacles that sometimes can stand in the way from business owners. So again, we're taking all the different sources of data that we think are applicable. We integrate with QuickBooks, we integrate with various Sage products, we integrate with FreshBooks to bring together accounting data, which is an important element of matching.
Hmm.
Transactional banking data, so to enable the user to plug in their business checking account,
Right.
see what transactions might identify products that are suitable to help them either save money or access funding. So data is a huge part of it, and then also presenting, as I mentioned, the application for funders to be approved, and that's where we can actually tap into AI and machine learning to help with the presentation and the submission of those packages.
Hmm.
So we're doing the matching so that they see only products that they're eligible for, whether it's local grants in the province or whether it's financial institutions to help them finance equipment. And then we're helping with the assembly of those applications to position them for success.
Hmm. Well, that's fascinating, and AI truly seems to be reshaping how small businesses they find and secure funding. But what insights can businesses gain from data and analytics provided by Swoop's AI systems, Daira?
Yeah, absolutely. I think financial literacy is something that I've touched on once or twice. And one of the features that we have in the platform, which is free, by the way,
Hmm.
um, is when a business owner chooses to integrate accounting data, for example, we help them with a cash flow forecasting tool.
Right.
So the number one pain point for small business owners in Canada is cash flow and funding working capital. Um, that's before we start thinking about capital expenditure, just managing the day to day, the payroll, the marketing, paying vendors on time, and to anticipate when it is the business needs funding is sometimes part of the challenge. So we try to use the data that's in the accounting ledgers to help them anticipate when there might be ebbs and flows in cash flow, and also layer in transactional banking data through the same integrations.
Hmm.
That's one element of it. We also have a dashboard in our platform that allows business owners to see metrics that
Hmm.
are considered important by financial institutions. So profitability metrics, cash flow metrics, return on equity deployed, in a way that's easy for the owner of a small business to understand.
Right.
And again, that's with a view to bolstering education and financial literacy.
This is great. I mean, you're doing so much in this realm, and it's great to see how much solutions there are from Soup. Now, AI, we understand that it is making funding more accessible, but government programs they also play a crucial role in supporting SMEs. Dara, now let's discuss how Soup is helping businesses tap into these opportunities. We'll be right back with insights on how Soup simplifies the process of accessing the Canada Small Business Financing Program for over 10,000 Canadian SMEs annually. Please stay tuned.
Hey, You think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect and recharge,
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's explore how government-backed programs like CSBFP can unlock growth for SMEs. Government programs like the Canada Small Business Financing Program, they're designed to help SMEs access funding, yet so many businesses, they struggle to even navigate them effectively. How does Swoop simplify this process of accessing government backed funding, and what key programs should SMEs be aware of?
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned the Canadian Small Business Loan Program. So there's a whole bunch of acronyms out there to address that. CSBFL, CSBFA, everybody seems to call it something different. That's a government guaranteed loan that goes out through the banks. And there's been a few modifications to it over the years, but broadly speaking, companies can access up to 600K in a loan that's backstopped by the government. The challenges there are the application process is quite arduous for a lot of small business owners. And if there's, if people don't have the time to go through that, or if they're a bit confused, I think another challenge is how the big five banks in Canada resource small business banking leaves a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
So the experience that small business owners have when they interact with these banks is poor in many cases. So what Swoop does is streamline that process. So we'll tell them exactly what they need to get approved, what the criteria is, and then we'll make sure that it gets into an underwriter as quickly as possible. Now, beyond that's a lending, that's a debt product. On the government funding more broadly, like there are hundreds of grants available to businesses right across Canada, from the larger programs that I think many people will be familiar with, like SHRED and IRAP, maybe the e-business in Quebec, Can Export, right down to the lesser well-known programs at a provincial or municipality level, for underrepresented entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, hiring grants, which tend to be open most of the year. And again, for business owners, it's just tough to stay on top of it and have your finger on the pulse in relation to what programs are open.
Right.
Last year, a lot of people were talking about CDAP over the last probably 2 or 3 years. Now in Ontario, it's DMAP. That's the one that's open through the OCI. So just having that information available puts you at an advantage, because you know that if you submit an application in advance of taking on a project or making a hire, you might be able to get some of that funding back. So that's where we come in, just to make sure that business owners through the platform have visibility on these programs. And then if they wish to act on it and submit an application, we're there to help them with that as well. But just staying on top of it can be part of the problem, I think.
That's incredibly valuable. And you're right, many small business owners, they may not even realize that they qualify for all these programs. But what advice do you have for small businesses, Daire, that are looking to maximize government funding opportunities?
Yeah, I think the first step is to do a mapping exercise, whether it's with us or with another grant writer, or some local advisor that you might have that's available to you. But just do a comprehensive mapping exercise. Grants are there to reward a certain type of spend and a certain type of activity, whether it's hiring, whether it's in development of new knowledge and innovation and clean tech. But there's a whole bunch of cash that's been left on the table.
Right.
You know, we had a bakery in Toronto in the GTA actually recently get a good amount of funding through Shred recently.
Mm-hmm.
And again, speaking in the software industry, a lot of people are always putting in their Shred claims because it's just a common thing to do. But in the food industry and in the manufacturing space, it's less common and less well known. Yet these are companies that are creating knowledge and spending money on R&D. It just happens that they're making cakes as opposed to writing code. So just that knowledge alone ended up putting a lot of cash back into the business at the end of the year. So yeah, my advice would be on the grant side of things, do a mapping exercise, see what elements of your spend and your overheads actually might be eligible. And then looking down the track, are you growing? I mean, the applications for can export are about to open.
Right.
That oversubscribes every year. So if you're selling into the US, or maybe you're looking to diversify on the back of some of this tariff discussion that's happening, there could be opportunities through that program to get some funding back into your business if you're selling to customers overseas.
No, making funding more accessible is very essential for SME growth, and your work and with Swoop is playing a significant role in that, Daire. And it has been so far a very insightful discussion that we had today. But if there is one key takeaway as we're wrapping up, you want small business owners to remember about securing funding, what would it be?
Yeah, I think plan ahead and anticipate your cash flow cycles. Like cash flow and working capital is as I said, the number one challenge that small business owners navigate. So forecasting, speak to your accountant or your CPA regularly, and look for resources such as Swoop that can help you navigate funding.
That's excellent advice. Thank you so much, Daire. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and thank you so much for sharing your expertise and so many valuable solutions for our audience. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
That was an enlightening conversation with Daire Burke, the head of Swoop North America, about how AI-driven financial solutions are transforming access to funding for small businesses. A special thank you to our guest as well as to our partners RBC, UPS, IAG, and Google for their continued support of small business success. For more expert insights and resources, please visit CanadianSME.ca and subscribe to our podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.